I knew I could do more with my life than just work for somebody else and make their dreams come true. So what techniques do you use to stay motivated and push through when first starting an SMMA? This was a question that we just got in our school community, and I can absolutely remember feeling like that. I couldn't imagine building this agency to the 7-figure level with my best friend, David, 8 years ago at this point. We struggled. There was many nights where I was feeling anxiety. I was worried. I was unsure that we were going to be able to deliver the results that we were promising. So the question here in this group, I totally get it. And I'm going to break it down for you in a very simple way that's going to help you have more motivation, more clarity, more focus to start and grow your social media marketing agency. And if you're wondering how I got this black eye, well, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll explain the situation. So this question came from our school community, which is already blown up to over 72 members, which is crazy. We've got a lot of great stuff happening in there. So check it out. I'll leave the links in the description if you want to jump in, but it's a great way to get more access to us, exclusive courses, things about running ads, starting your social media marketing agency. And we even have 20 modules completely for free from the SMMA blueprint in here, along with how to run ads for your own agency, wealth mastery, personal development, a ton of stuff that we're dropping every single day. But we had a question from one of our growth school students. He said, so I've been trying SMMA for a long time, too long to not have any success. And I keep finding that the reason for that is I talk myself out of everything. I go from, I can do amazing things for people and I have amazing ideas to change my niche and help more people, to people will never pay me. How do I do this to the point that I actually show people? So he said, I'm in the real estate niche. I have a passion for that industry and I've even studied it. What techniques do you guys use to stay motivated and push through these things? Would love some things that I could try and implement. So I'm going to go over some people's responses here, and then I'll talk about our story and my advice here. Gabriel said, outwork your self-doubt until you have an overwhelming amount of evidence that you are who you say you are. I really like that approach. I mean, that's really what the bedrock of confidence is you're outworking your self-doubt. You're overcoming it with evidence, with fact-based reality that you've done this before. You can be successful and you have evidence to prove it. So I love that. David said, completely agree with the above. The biggest thing you need to do is commit to it. Doing anything else is not an option. Like Derek said, what is your financial goal? Where do you want to take this thing? How do you want to do it? When do you want to make it happen? Then work backwards from there. So he's talking about reverse engineering your goals. I absolutely love that. So let's kind of go into what I talked about as well. And I think this is super important. Like, you really need to draw a mental line in the sand and say, this is what this business model is going to be no matter what. And if you want to accomplish goals, you need to set hard dates and actually commit to it. So what happened for us? David and I, we decided, hey, starting a social media marketing agency sounds like a great idea. But we had a bunch of things in our way. We were working 9-to-5 jobs. We really didn't have a ton of experience running ads ourselves. And while we felt confident that we could go and sell and do the work, at the end of the day, we didn't have what Gabriel talked about here, which is overwhelming evidence that we were who we said we were or what we wanted to do in our minds. So what did we do? Step number one is we set up the foundational elements of the business. We made it a reality. We didn't want to just make it a dream. We didn't want to make this something that was an idea or fiction in our mind. We put pen to paper. We decided on a name. We incorporated the LLC. We created a website. We had a business email. We had a business bank account. Everything was legit. And if you're wondering how to do those kind of things, check out Growth School. Right in the classroom, we've actually got the SMMA Blueprint Lite along with all these other videos. But it's going to show you exactly how to do these things. Pick a name. Legally start your business. Get an agency logo. Build a website. Business bank account. These are going to be the things that are going to set you up for success. And all of this is unlocked in the community. So once you have that, once your business is real, now you're starting to believe it. Like Gabriel said, factual evidence that you are who you say you are. Now I have a piece of paper. Now I have a website. I'm feeling more confident. I'm feeling more legitimate. So after we had those things, now the biggest thing standing in our way, and what's probably standing in your way as well, is you don't have any experience. So you need to go and get it at all costs. So the very first thing I recommend people do once they get these foundational elements set up is to go out and do a free trial. You may know a friend of a friend, a family member, somebody down the block that owns a business that you could approach and just simply say, I've been learning how to run social media marketing ads online, and before I start charging business owners, I would love to run a free trial for you. I'll set up the ad, I'll send you the leads, I'll do the creative, I'll take care of everything completely for free. All you have to do is pay for whatever you're comfortable with in ad spend, and I'll take care of the rest. This is exactly what I did back when we started. It was a hair salon. Ran a simple giveaway campaign. It was around the Christmas time frame, and we got about 40 leads for them. And that was the bedrock. That was the starting point. And the very next client, we closed for $2,500 a month. So with a few simple moves, you can be in business. You can be making money. And it really isn't like this takes money to make money kind of a business like drop shipping or Amazon FBA or affiliate marketing where you need an audience or capital to drive traffic. Like, you just need to learn how to run this kind of business. You need to learn how to run ads for small businesses and then provide that service and collect a paycheck. So what this growth school member is saying here is, how do I convince myself, right? And some of these things I just mentioned will inherently convince you that you are who you say you are. But there needs to be a point where you decide, is this going to be a business that's just going to make you a few $100s, a few $1,000s a month extra to pay for bills, pay for student loans, maybe help you get a new car, whatever? Or is this going to be something that you eventually take full time, where this is going to be a legitimate business that you can say, hey, this is what I do it well, and this is all I do? You need to make that decision. And I'm not saying one way is right or wrong. But what David and I did is we said, we don't want to work for somebody else. I would much rather make less money and work for myself than make a six-figure paycheck for somebody else. And I would hear words from other entrepreneurs saying things like, if you're listening to this right now and you're driving to a job, you are not an entrepreneur. And that really irked me. I really wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always felt like at any job I was doing, even if I was doing it well, I was really only giving a 50% effort at the most because I wasn't involved in everything. I just had a very minute sliver in the operation. I was a cog in the system, and I knew there was more. I knew I could do more with my life than just work for somebody else and make their dreams come true. That's why if you look back on our channel, you can see us quitting our jobs, the thought process that happened literally the day I drove in and said, you know what, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice to my manager. You can follow that on this channel. So is that the type of business? Is that the type of lifestyle you want to create? Or is this just going to be a side project? And if it's just going to be a side project, stop beating yourself up. Stop being so hard on yourself. Have a couple clients on the side, and that's totally fine. But if you want to take action and actually make this thing a full-time business and something that's going to pay for your lifestyle, pay for your mortgage, pay for your bills, allow you to travel, take trips, etc., you really need to start by putting pen to paper on when do I want to make that happen. And I really want to emphasize that. When do you want this to happen? Because right now, you're allowing your mind to come up with motivating thoughts one day and doubt, fear, and negative destruction on your dreams the other. And until you have a date that you're committed to, where you're like we did, we said June 1st, 2017, we will quit our jobs and we will run this business full time. 8 years later, we're doing the same damn thing, but we would still be working for somebody else, punching in the clock, driving an hour one way each day, 2 hours a day of my life. Add that up over time, it's like 40 hours a week, or that's like 40 hours a month just dedicated to sitting in the car, staring through the windshield, wishing we were doing something better. And man, I really wish for you guys that you find something that you can commit to fully, because that's when you really feel alive. That's when you really feel like you're on purpose. You're driving forward. If you're just working for somebody else, it's a means to an end. Yes, it's going to pay for the bills. We have to do these things. But the beautiful thing about the internet, this kind of opportunity, is you can start something on the side, incubate it, use your job to fuel this fire, and then eventually make that move in an educated way. Not a big risk, burn the boat kind of way, but hey, I've been putting in 1 hour a day, and these are the results I'm getting. What if I put in 40 hours per day? Then what would happen? So by taking these steps, these are the milestones you're going to hit. This is how you're going to build confidence and really take this thing to a full-time level or just as a side hustle. I would also recommend that you keep a daily journal. So writing down the top 3 things that are going to move the needle towards your goal each day. If all else fails, if a call comes in, somebody gets sick, I get sick. If all else fails, if I get these 3 things done today, it's going to move the needle one step closer to my goal. Those are the things that you want to write down. And at the end of the day, reflect on it and say, did I do those things or did I not? If I did, awesome. Let's cross them off. Let's make some new goals for tomorrow. If I didn't, let's feel bad about it. But how can we be better? How can I bump that to the next day and get it done and reflect on why I couldn't get those things off my list? Like, this is going to keep you accountable. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to do these things for you. If you want to make your dreams come true, you got to take action. You have to take accountability, and then your confidence will come. Your brain will start to see tangible proof of, hey, I'm starting to set up a business bank account. I just created my LLC. I just created a website. I'm talking to business owners. I'm doing a free trial. I'm doing this thing. Will you feel nervous? Will there be some base level of nervousness? Of course. Anytime you do something new, you'll feel that way. But you can choose, is this nervous feeling going to empower me or destroy me? Am I excited or am I scared? How you interpret those feelings is completely up to you. So when we closed that first client, we were nervous. We were scared. We were like, oh my gosh, now we got to commit. Now we got to really back up what we just said and closed on. But I quickly changed my mindset to, I'm going to do everything in my power to help this client. My intentions are good. They're clearly not doing much on social. So whatever I do moving forward is going to move the needle. It's going to help these people. It's going to get more exposure. More potential customers are going to see their brand no matter what. So that energy propelled me to do research, take courses, test ads, make sure that they knew what we were doing, communicating with them. These were all new things, of course, but it was exciting. It wasn't scary. So your confidence will come over time. You need to be accountable to yourself. You need to stop letting yourself down. Start proving your dreams right instead of coming up with excuses why they're not achievable for you. Hopefully that gives you some motivation. If you made it this far, I'll talk about my black eye. I actually competed in a jiu-jitsu tournament this past weekend, and I won silver, which is awesome. I went against a much more experienced competitor and lost on points, but I learned a lot and really learned a lot about controlling my emotions, and it was a really transformative experience for me. I've got some photos here that we'll share up on the screen, but at the end of the day, pushing yourself, trying for new things, setting a date. Like, I set a date for this jiu-jitsu tournament. It forced me to be better. It forced me to get after it. Forced me to work out harder, train harder, work on my mental game. Like, you can do all those same things for business. So set some goals, draw the line in the sand, and take action. And if you want to be surrounded with high-performing agency owners, people like myself, like David, like everyone that you're seeing in the community, check out Growth School. We still have it discounted heavily. So there's 72 members in there at the time of making this video. Maybe by the time you see this, it's over 100. Get in while you can. We're value bombing every single day, dropping new courses every single week. I just added Ads Mastery, where I break down the funnels, the campaign design, how we do copywriting, images, video, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the major platforms, and how we drive results for our clients. So check out Growth School. That's school.com/growth school. The links will be in the description. And if you're looking for a step-by-step video on how to get the ball rolling, how to get started, check out this video here where I break everything down in about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll see you over there.